Hi everyone, it's a Friday. Whoop whoop. So I hope you had a nice week and of course you're looking forward to the weekend. Thank you so much for joining me on Cocktails and Suitcases. This week, Stephanie is back. Yes, a lot of you did appreciate the pictures that she shared last week and she's back this week sharing one of her travel experiences with us. For you to find out which country she'll be talking about, well, you have to tune in to the end of the show. So this week's topic is visit destination I don't know, so you'd have to tune in for you to find out. And remember, if you like any of these travel tips and you do want to visit these countries, make sure you reach out to me because I have so many travel deals. So whatever the country, just holler at your girl and I will share those travel deals with you. So catch you on the other side. Until next time, God bless. Have a nice weekend.
Hi, Sibeso.
Oh, we said it at the same time. Hi, Stephanie.
How's it going, Sibeso?
Happy Friday. It's going great and I couldn't wait to talk to you.
I couldn't wait to talk to you too. You wanted me back for another week and here I am.
Yes, I did. In fact, my crew and I were actually talking about it, and we hope you could be our travel kind of ambassador so you could tell us about what's going on ground and share your beautiful pictures.
I would be delighted to. It would be a pleasure.
Yeah, no, your pictures and your tips were very popular last week. So thank you for featuring on the show.
I'm glad your viewers enjoyed it.
So let's jump to it. But of course, let's start with our Friday drinks.
Here it is. Here's my grape.
What?
Okay. Grape infused peach cocktail.
Okay. So mine, today's weather is it's cloudy and gloomy. So I called it a breezy, calming cocktail. It's of course lemon, mare, raspberry, some pineapple and grapes.
I love it. And I love how it's matching your outfit. So good.
Thank you. Thank you. So what country are we visiting today?
Dominican Republic. And just for you, Sibeso, I even have a snorkeling picture as my background from my trip in the Dominican.
Oh, thank you so much. I trust you, Steph. You always bring out the best. So thank you. And I can't wait for the pictures. So
right. Well, we'll get right into them. I'll share my screen with you.
Okay.
And we'll get into the photos.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes. So this was the first night at our hotel in the Dominican Republic. We were at a hotel in Puerto Plata.
Okay.
And this was, again, the first evening. Our first meal there was some veggies with fish. I think most of my meals when I was in the Dominican were fish related. Like when you're by the sea, you just have to have fish. You know what I mean?
Yes, but oh my gosh, let us talk about that view. That's everything.
View from the restaurant that we're eating at, and this is the hotel at night.
Okay.
And some more foods.
So now I'm getting hungry.
So they had really great presentation with their food. And then this is just hanging out by the poolside at night. And then this was the next morning, taking a walk by the beach and just seeing the sights in Puerto Plata by the poolside. And then at the hotel, they had some activities you could do, which included the baseball.
Okay.
And rock climbing. So this was a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun. And then obviously you get to be by the beach and you look at those waters, they're just, they're just so clear and just so inviting. And then this is, I decided to throw in views of the hotel rooms just to show you like what a 4-star hotel looks like. So this room we actually got as an upgrade because the hotel was pretty new. And so they were going through they had a few issues in our original rooms, and so they ended up upgrading us to a room that had a jacuzzi on the balcony. So that was a very nice addition. And then this is what the standard rooms look like.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I would call this a solid 4-star, maybe 4.5 star-ish hotel. The food was definitely better than in Cuba, and you can even see with the presentation, it was pretty good. And then this is kind of local life. I thought I would throw this in there just to show you how transportation works for the average person in the Dominican. And then these are some of the stones and items that are popular when you are visiting Dominican Republic. And so we were on a tour that was kind of showing us what was real and what was fake and how to tell the difference. And so it was at a jewelry store, and in the back of the jewelry store, they have a workshop where you could see them just working on with these stones and putting together pieces of jewelry for clients. And so
look at how colorful. Take me back to that picture. Look at how colorful your background is. The pink, the yellow, the blue.
And this is so typical of all Caribbean countries. They're just so vibrant and full of color. And so this was on our way to a museum. Well, I guess it wasn't really a museum. I don't know what you'd call it. But anyway, we were doing some more sightseeing. And here you can see kind of a map of the Dominican Republic. We were in Puerto Plata, so we were based a little bit up north. And you can see that Haiti borders with the Dominican. Yes. A lot of people usually go to Santo Domingo or Punta Cana, which is around this area. Okay. And so when we were here, I got to partake in a cigar rolling activity. So that's me hard at work, and of course pretending to smoke a cigar. And then from there, we got to go to a fort. So this is just some of the pictures at that fort. So this was like a one-day activity that involved you get picked up from the hotel, you go into town just to see like what local life is like. And then we went to the jewelry store to have a talk about the stones and the different things. Then we went to this fort area. And then to finish off this particular tour, we got to go to the highest point in the Dominican by cable car. And so you just see some of the sites. And then they have their own representation of Jesus like they do in Rio. And so, you know, we did what everyone else was doing. You know how people like to take pictures like this.
Yes.
Yeah, and you get to see just some of the sites. And again, at the hotel, just some of the things I got up to. I brought my coloring book with me. You know, you always want to self-entertain on days where you just want to, you know, relax. Maybe you want to read a book. Maybe sleeping is your thing. Maybe coloring is your thing. Being by the poolside and just chilling out. Going to the beach maybe and just having fun. Or you can rent out bikes if your hotel has bikes, and you know, you just go and explore the area. And so that was me and my friends just enjoying the Dominican life. And then to the pool again and back to the waters. And then this was
you know how to have fun. I love pictures.
I do try. And so this was on the catamaran in the Dominican, which is so different, so different from Cuba, where the waters are not as rough, because in the Dominican, they tell you right away, you know, we have buckets for throwing up, please use them. That's what they're there for. In Cuba, none of that. None of that was ever said, so you never even thought about it. But you did have some very good snorkeling once you got to your destination, which was about an hour away from the shore. So, yeah, some really good snorkeling was had. And then this was the...
wait, sorry. The previous picture, is that your background?
So, yes, this is my background. Good eye, Sylvia. This is my background right now. Yes, it is. I wondered if you would catch that. But, yeah, so... Then the last activity we did in the Dominican was the 12 waterfalls, and it's just I'm sorry, I don't have very clear pictures. But what it is that you're jumping from one waterfall, to the next, and it's just there's some adrenaline rush because some of the areas are so tall and like, it's like, am I really going to jump into that water? Will I make it? Will I be okay? But it's absolutely fantastic. And you get to see these beautiful rocks,
Wow.
formations, and water. Anything to do with the water is just so awesome. So
Yeah.
you go. So people are gonna slide down that waterfall to the next area and so forth. So it's a lot of fun. And then back at the hotel, we also had a cafe that we could, just come sit, enjoy, have some, desserts and whatnot. And at the hotel we were at, it was called Emotions. It was actually opening up for the first time.
Okay.
So that was the opening week, and we were there on our last day was the official opening of the hotel. And
Okay.
so there you get to see some of the owner and his team, and we got to meet them as well. And so it was a really great experience. And then this is leaving,
Oh,
and heading back. But it was a really good, a very good trip. So we really enjoyed. And then, just to tip off, just to show you just a different side of Cuba too, I'll just quickly run through my pictures from when I was in Cuba for my very first
okay.
time as a solo traveler. And this is just to compare. This is probably a three-star, 3.5-star hotel. So I'm just going to run through
Okay.
these pictures just so you get a different view from last week's episode of Cuba, and also just because I got to see a lot more on the trip as well. And so this
Okay.
is Matanzas. These are the sites in Matanzas, a city very close
And
to
this is Cuba,
Pero.
right?
Yes, this is in Cuba, and then they have caves, very popular when you go there. And then this is just showing you just some of the local life and what it looks like.
Uh,
And then this is back at the hotel, the shows. This was the Michael Jackson show. This just hanging by the water, Japanese restaurant. You always get those at every hotel. There'll always be a Japanese restaurant. This was salsa dancing, just teaching the guests how to salsa dance, and then they would have invited them later. A different activity, shooting, beautiful sunsets. And then this was in Havana. The next few photos were taken in Havana. And so it's just such a great cultural place to be. Like you could stay in Baradero, which is more touristy, or you can live and that's the Cuban cigars, of course. Then this is by Revolution Square. And then you get the fathers of Cuba, the founders of Cuba, and some more like some of the local, typical local cuisine in Cuba. But as I was saying, you could be in Varadero, which is very touristy, or you could stay in Havana and get
okay.
more of a cultural experience.
Mm.
But yeah, this is like what the some of the cars, like if you book for the private tours, you could be in a
Okay.
car like this, or it could be a convertible, but very similar to this. And then this was the catamarans, again, way better in Cuba than in the Dominican. And on this one, we had the dolphin experience, so that was great.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and then there's always fun on the catamarans in Cuba. There's a lot of dancing, after activities, so it's fun. And this is probably one of the better meals I had when I was in Cuba. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, and lastly, again, more snorkeling. But this
Wow.
is the beach in Cuba.
Here
So
we go. Mhm.
yeah,
Oh, thank you so much, Steph. I cannot wait to see what adventure you take us to next.
I can't wait to show you the next destination either. But I hope you
Yes.
enjoyed seeing a contrast between the Dominican Republic and Cuba. And yeah,
Okay, so you saying you cannot wait to see what adventure you take us you take us on next time means you're coming back on the show then.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you did at the beginning of this call ask me to be a travel consultant. So why not? I'll be back.
Okay, then let's take a toast to that.
Cheers.
Happy Friday, Steph. Have a nice weekend.
Happy Friday, Sibeso, and you too.
Happy Friday. Bye.
Bye.